website, the link to another website, which is app.softage.net/srot/srot /srot dash home. And when you land here, this is the page you are greeted by. It asks you for your login, but apart from that, it tells you about something called SROT, which is Screen Recording and Observation Tool for Agentic AI Model Training. What does this mean? So basically, let's rewind a little bit. SoftAge AI is a organization that is at the forefront of creating and managing data sets meant for AI training, meant for the development of AI. So all the breakthroughs about AI research that people may come across in the news and otherwise, that is enabled by scores and scores and scores of data. And SoftAge AI is one of the organizations that is at the forefront of creating that data, providing that data to these larger AI corporations, AI organizations. And this data, SoftAge AI specifically specializes in data that is natural, that is organic, that is not machine made. And SROT is a step in that direction. It's a indigenously developed in-house tool, uh, which expands, of course, to SROT, screen recording and observation tool. And this is a tool that is meant to aid the development of agentic AI model. What are agentic AI models? Agentic AI models are sort of like digital assistants. They are designed or intended to work as AI-based assistants of for users to negate a lot of digital labor, to cut down on a lot of time that users spend on tasks that may be mundane, tasks that may be um, tedious, tasks that may be repetitive, boring. So all those kind of tasks which take up a lot of users' time, which take up a lot of digital labor. The idea is to relegate those tasks to these agentic AI models, or sometimes even relegate larger tasks to these models so that humans have more time freed up to spend away from their devices, to spend with their loved ones, to spend on things that they want to do, right? So that's what agentic AI models are, and SROT is a tool which is determined to enable the development of these models. How? The question arises that how does that happen? So basically, what's happening here is SROT is capturing people's interactions on their devices, on their screens, on different laptops, on different apps, platforms, softwares, tools, etc. And those interactions, those recordings of interactions are observed alongside a textual log of people's actions on these platforms, websites, softwares, and then it is analyzed to sort of understand how humans really function, really interact with these interfaces, and use that to train itself, and AI models use that to train themselves on how to behave like humans on the screen or on a device. So this is the purpose of this tool. And yeah, basically our expectation from users then are to record simulations which are as close to organic, as close to natural as possible, and use those simulations in turn to train AI models. Of course, our users, for our user base, we have reached out to people who are already skilled in some sort of software, some sort of usage of these tools that are a part of the training module, because we wanted people who already have an experience of working in these tools, so that the data that they capture, even when they are capturing simulations, those simulations are as close to natural as possible, as organic as possible, so that the data that we end up feeding the model, any model, is as high quality as possible so that there are lower chances of hallucinations, there are lower chances of the issues that you see with LLMs, for example. Uh, so imagine you have to and you are using an assistant to book a flight ticket, and this flight is going from Delhi to Bombay. So you ask the assistant to book it, and they end up booking a flight from, say, Delhi, the capital of East Timor, Bombdila, right? So something of that sort is totally undesirable. But we've seen such kind of mistakes happen when you ask an LLM about how many R's are there in the word strawberry, or when they create images with multiple fingers on humans, with humans having 10 fingers on one hand and stuff like that. So you are training a agent, an assistant that is intended to do your work, that is intended to manage your work for you. You do not want these kind of mistakes, and to avoid these kind of mistakes, we want the data that is really high quality. We want data that is really organic as possible, and hence that's the purpose of this program, to engage with users, with freelancers across the world, with their own levels of expertise on different tools, to come and submit these simulations for us. Really high quality data. So that's what the program is all about. That's how the program is supposed to work. Now let us understand all the finer details about the processes. So for a while, let's log in. So to log in, please enter the credentials that you received on your email. And once you log in, this is the screen that you see. It says Smooth Recorder Panel. So the home button here redirects you to here, which is the recorder panel. And on this recorder panel, there are a few things. Let's understand them one by one. So firstly, we have these two dashboards, which tell you about your total earnings and amount under processing. I'll not delve too much into this, but you have this ribbon with the home icon. And if you scroll down, you will see the ribbon still stays in its place. And it has a few other useful buttons. Firstly, there is the icon for downloading the recording agent for Mac users, for Mac OS, followed by a button to download the recording agent for Windows users, for Windows devices. So I'll click on that to download the recording agent for my system. Thirdly, we have the guidelines. I'll also download that because we will go through a section of the guidelines as part of this demonstration. And I would recommend all of you to please read the guidelines very carefully. Please also try to read the FAQs. Both of these documents have been designed and put in place, keeping in mind those of our users who may be unable to attend our meetings. These documents have been designed to help people understand the processes without necessarily attending this call. And there have been users who have just read through the guidelines and the FAQs and managed to perform really well. So please do go through them. And in general, whatever we are doing here, hmm, whatever we do in this call, in this demonstration part at least, it's just sort of a live presentation of the guidelines. So reading the source document really helps, right? So, and then we have the user profile, which has a few functions. I'll not go to them right now. We have these drop downs, which I'll come to in a bit. And finally, we have these two buttons called reset and next task. And our download has been completed. So let's go to the folder where the download has been completed. So it's a zipped folder, as you can see. So let's unzip this firstly. So we'll go to extract all and extract this folder. After the extraction, let's open this folder called SROT installer. Inside there is another folder called SROT installer. Let's open that. And inside there are two folders. From this, I'll only open SROT installer and not this underscore Mac OS X folder because I'm on a Windows device. So it makes sense for me to not open a folder meant for Mac devices. So here, when we open the third SROT installer folder, these are the things that we see. There are four files on this window, and three of them are really, really important for the installation process. I would urge all of you to pay close attention to the next few steps because the chronology that is followed during the installation is very important. So first thing that we will do is we will take the folder called ffmpeg and we will copy this and we will paste it onto our local disk C, or basically the disk which has our Windows installed in it, the disk drive on which our Windows is installed. So that usually for most systems, it happens to be the local disk C. So we'll paste it here. We will go back to the SROT installer folder, the third layer of the SROT installer folder, and we will take this file called setpath.bat and we will run this as an administrator. So at this point, you may see this blue screen by Windows Defender, by Microsoft Defender, which flags this file. So you don't need to worry about this. I do assure you, we at SoftAge assure you that this file is absolutely safe to use. It's of no harmful consequence. So you don't need to worry about the safety of your device. The thing is, SROT is designed, intended to record your screen, your keyboard and your mouse usage together simultaneously, but only during a recording session and only when the task is already in progress. And um, you, uh, that device activity be recorded. Any other point, it is not recorded, and it only records the first layer of the screen. So whatever is shown on the window is the only thing that gets recorded. So due to that, you don't need to worry about the safety of your device as such. So you can just go to more info and then run anyway. If you are using a third party antivirus system, sometimes what may happen is that the system may quarantine certain files. So you would have to check for that and exempt the files inside Sroth installer and inside and once you record the Sroth recording agent, you would have to exempt all those files from the scope, from the purview of your antivirus software if you are using a third-party antivirus system. Okay, so after running the set path file, we will finally take this file called sroth underscore installer.exe and run this as an administrator as well. Once again, there will be more info, there will be a blue screen, click on more info and then click on run anyway. So just go on to install this as a regular installation. Okay, the installation has finished. So we will launch Sroth, but we launch Sroth, we will do one more thing. And this is very important for all Windows users because a frequently recurring issue is if you are on a Windows device, you start your recording agent, there is a countdown, and after the countdown, the app disappears, which it is intended, it is designed to disappear. But at the same time, when you stop your recording, the recording doesn't stop. This is because your recording agent has already crashed. It's no longer active. So it is not capable of stopping a recording at that point. So how do you fix this? How do you prevent your recording agent from crashing? So there's one way to do that. So please go to this option called edit the, please search for this. Please edit the system environment variables in your search button on your Windows device and then open this option. And once you are here, again for this, I would request all our users, if you want to understand how exactly this is being done, please click on environment variables and please zoom your screen so that you can take note of all the steps that I'm doing. So once you open environment variables, you will see these two set of variables. One is a set of user variables and the other is a set of system variables. Now on both of these sites, you will see something called path, and your recordings will work if you open, or when you open path, you see this path present. That is C colon reverse slash ffmpeg reverse slash bin. Now, where is this path coming from? This path is coming from uh, again C and ffmpeg, the folder that you had copied, and then there is the folder called bin inside that. So take the address of this folder, C colon reverse slash ffmpeg reverse slash bin, copy this and then paste it onto the environment variables, right? So paste it here and click OK. If you don't see it anywhere, then first click on new cell and then paste it, or uh, you can just click on new on path and then paste it. So double click on path and then click on new and paste it. And the same thing you have to do in the bottom panel as well. So after you have pasted it on both places, click on OK and then click on OK again. And now after you refresh your device, it should be ready to record. So now enter your login ID, your email ID on the Sloth freelance, on the Sloth recording agent. And after you have logged in, let's go back to the SROT recorder panel. From the recorder panel, we will now use these drop downs to select a task. And let's select it. So I'm selecting Arrow as my project, but if you are a assessment user, if you are yet to appear for your assessment, the only option you will see is Test Arrow. So please pick Test Arrow in that case, of course. Then pick your OS. I'm on a Windows device. I'll pick Windows. Select a tool on which you want to work. I will select Google Drive here. Select a feature which you want to work on. I'll use Google Forms and select a data type, supervised. So after using these 5 dropdowns, we have a prompt, we have a task. So we will take the task ID first and we will copy it on our recording agent. Now let's read the task. It says save quiz 12 form responses to the Excel file weekly quiz underscore answers. So this is what the task says. And before I get started, I would want to check if I have a spreadsheet called weekly quiz underscore answers and quiz 12 for. Okay. So we do have a file called quiz 12 quiz 12. And while we do not have responses, we can view them in sheets. So there is already a weekly quiz answers, but we do not want this. We want an Excel file. So let's see if we can unlink this sheet for now. And we can link to a sheet. We can select an existing spreadsheet. Now for this existing spreadsheet, we will need to create a spreadsheet first. which is an Excel file. So this amount of work we'll do in the background. We already have a form called quiz 12, so we don't need to create another one. Now this form I created for a previous task, and this is now coming in handy for this task as well. So I don't need to create another form, but I do need to create a Excel sheet. So I do have again one file called weekly quiz underscore answers. What I'm going to do is just save this as an Excel file and then upload the Excel file back onto Sheets. So what we are going to do is we'll go to a blank spreadsheet. We'll go to File and we will import. Just a second. Yeah, we will go to File. We will import. We will upload weekly quiz answers dot xlsx import data. Okay, just a second. I think we'll go back to Sheets. Just give me a moment. We need to upload a file and okay, so we have weekly quiz answers bracket 1 xlsx. So we will just rename this to weekly quiz underscore answers. So please note, this is all the background work that I am doing, and there is a reason why I'm doing this background work. I'll come to that in a bit, but now let's perform our task. So we have our task ID. We know our task is cut out for us. We've already copied the task ID. So I'll open a new Google Chrome window. Before I start, I have entered my task ID and I'll start recording. And once the recording starts, the first thing I'll do is go to forms.google.com. From here, I'll select this file called quiz-12. I'll go to responses. I'll link it to sheets and I'll select an existing spreadsheet. Select and we will select my drive and we will search in the drive weekly quiz underscore answers dot xlsx. Sorry. So we'll select this and we will insert. And once the spreadsheet linking is done, we will close the recording, function plus F9, and we have this message. Do we want to submit? Yes, no, view log file. For now, I'll just submit it, but I know it's incorrect and I'll tell you why it's incorrect. Can anyone tell me why the task I performed was incorrect? Just unmute yourself and tell me why you think it was incorrect. I have already told you it was incorrect and this will get rejected, and not just because it was a test task, but actually because I performed it incorrectly. No, not because of the time. Anyone else? Okay, I'll tell you. So I was supposed to upload it to a Excel file as per the prompt, but this is a Google Sheets file. The XLSX file on which I was actually supposed to submit it didn't appear. Now that is because within the prompt itself, it's not supposed to appear. It can only link to existing Google Sheets file. So the prompt therefore was incorrect. So my ideal thing to do would have been reporting this prompt to SoftAge so that it would have been corrected and so that I could have linked it correctly. Though, so the prompt itself is incorrect, which makes the recording also incorrect. Now that may often be the case. That may on occasion be the case. I'll tell you what else needs to be followed. So let's quickly go through the guidelines. But the idea here was to show you how the recording process actually works. I hope that was caught by the people. Let's quickly go through our do's and don'ts, and then we can start taking the questions. Okay. So please head over to page 11 in the guidelines, section 9. And of course, please do read the entire guidelines as well. They are very, very helpful. Yeah. Important points to remember. So ensure that the SROT website does not appear on your recording screen at all. Instances where such occurrences will warrant an instant rejection. Ensure that your interface and computer language is set to English. Presently, recordings showing interfaces in other languages will be rejected. Ensure to arrange or create all the repositories, folders, files, data, etc. required to do the tasks in the background before beginning the recording, which is what I did. I ensured there was a form called quiz-12. There was a spreadsheet called weekly quiz underscore answers, and then we started the recording. Feel free to use publicly available data sets, mock spreadsheets, demo presentations, stock images, templates, whatever helps you ease out your work as asked in the respective prompts. Remember, just to ensure that the files are found in the same location as mentioned in the prompt, and they are of the same file format and name as the prompt. Ensure that there are no typing errors, misclicks, confused and aimless browsing while you are performing your task. Ensure that there isn't any essential part of the task skipped, and also that there are no extra steps performed beyond the scope of the task. So do not close your tool after you have finished your task, but end the recording right away. Each task must be performed in a crisp yet complete manner. Ensure that there is no personally identifiable information on your recordings. So your recordings should not contain any real person's names, email addresses, home addresses, national ID numbers, health or financial information. Instead, use placeholder names, stock images, and other alternatives. For contact numbers, the acceptable forms would be writing it as 123456789 or 987654321 or something like that. To safeguard personal data, videos containing PII will be rejected. Ensure no unnecessary tabs or unrelated applications are open while recording. Additionally, all bookmarks in web browsers should be removed or hidden during the screen recording. Ensure that there isn't any India specific data that comes in your recording. Use a VPN, change your location settings, use global URLs to mask India specific data in your recordings. So recordings that feature YouTube IN or Amazon.in will be rejected. Please do not type more than 3 lines of data or information for any task. If you need to add a long chain of textual information, such as a description or a code, then try to keep that information copied onto your clipboard before you begin the recording and paste the information at one go from your clipboard to the relevant field. Whenever navigating to any file or location or tool, try to type the name of your desired destination on the search bar or address bar instead of choosing entries from recents or shortcuts. This is required to keep the data more universalizable and will also help you legitimately increase your recording time and hence tentative task value for each task. If you are recording multiple videos during a single setting, then please leave your system on for a few hours after you finish recording to allow the seamless transfer of videos from your device to the SROT cloud. Videos that aren't transferred properly may lead to corrupt or unplayable files, which will have to be rejected. Users on Mac OS, please ensure to upload your output file when prompted about the same during your video submission. If you encounter a prompt which may be inexecutable either due to inaccuracy in the prompt's framing or due to it requiring a premium feature, then please immediately report the prompt with its task ID to sroth@softage.ai and wait for a resolution. In the meanwhile, please select either a different feature on the same tool or a different tool altogether to continue with your recordings. Please do not use any autofill or suggestive filling while performing your tasks. All website addresses, search queries, app names, file names must always be entered in full. While entering size or tilt specifications, please directly type and enter the desired value instead of scrolling or clicking wherever applicable. Further, please enter website addresses only in the address bar. Ensure your recordings are visible and legible, and ideally the actions are performed with the tool occupying the maximum area of the screen, which is either a very large window or a full screen window. So keeping things on the full screen is usually admissible, usually good enough. So those are the do's and don'ts. I hope people caught that and the recording procedure carefully. We'll now jump to questions. I